Amazing. I am excited to be back today with my friend Candice. This is our third week being together here on Thursdays at 5 o'clock. And she has had some really great things that she's been able to share with us. Also, yesterday, I was live with Heather Shaw. She's a mompreneur, and she shared some great tips on working from home while you've got little kids at home. So check that out if you didn't get a chance to watch it yet. The link is on my Facebook page, or you can go to my YouTube channel. But today we are going to jump back in with Candice, and I'm just going to introduce her again for those of you who maybe haven't met her yet. She's going to be talking to us about gratitude, positive psychology. It's not super heavy stuff, even though I just used a heavy word, positive psychology. It's actually really common sense, amazing tips that she's going to be sharing with us to help us stay in a good mindset and keep us from spiraling. So Candice Prescott has her Master's of Arts in Counseling from Boise State University. She's worked as a school counselor for 8 years. She's taught parenting classes, suicide prevention trainings for adolescents and adults. And she's been a student and teacher of a lot of different mindfulness practices and techniques. She's even taken those and helped implement them into the classroom and one-on-one with students. So recently she started teaching these mindfulness classes from home, which is brilliant during this time. And she has 3 loves of her life, and that's her husband and her 2 fur babies. So, and I always add this in because I love Utah Valley University. She is also an alum from Utah Valley University. So, Candice, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
All right. So people always talk about having gratitude journals. Do a gratitude journal, write 5 things you're grateful for, or all of this crazy stuff. So I want you to tell us what you think. Why is gratitude important? Is it important? Does it actually work?
Yeah, actually, it's interesting because you bring up the teaching mindfulness and all of that. When I've been learning about it, I was actually really surprised about gratitude being a piece of that. And gratitude is super important if you're working on being aware and being in the present. But there are so many benefits of gratitude, just trying to be grateful. Psychologically, physically, and socially, there are just a ton of benefits that we can get from that. Some of those things would include just having a more positive outlook on life, positive thoughts, mood, enhances and increases in a positive direction when we're trying to practice gratitude. And there have been studies to show that we actually can increase our immune system, which is something we all want right now, right? It's a better immune system, and decreasing any kind of aches and pains. It helps with that circulatory system. You can sleep better if you're practicing gratitude, as well as socially. It helps build your relationships. People tend to like you more if you're more grateful for them. Go figure. And so that's just a few of the benefits from being grateful.
Holy cow. Okay. So 3 weeks ago, one of the things you told us that would help us was to drink more water. Do you remember that?
Uh-huh. Yep.
And that helps your immune system too. And so being grateful is another way we can help not just our mind, but our immune system. So drinking water helps our mind and our immune system, and being grateful does. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these things don't happen overnight. So if you anticipate just being grateful for one thing and then think you're invincible from disease and things, it doesn't exactly work like that, but it definitely over a long span of time can help those things.
I love it. So there's the essential oil businesses are big here in Utah. And one of my former students, he got online and he's like, you know what, guys? essential oils are preventative medicine, like drinking water and being grateful, all of these things. It's not something that you can just do once or take one time and it's going to cure everything. I love that you pointed that out. It's preventative medicine, and it also helps reverse things. But it's not overnight. So give us some tips on how we can better live in that space.
So there are 5 things that I really think can be helpful in when you're trying to practice gratitude. The first one is to appreciate your
Hey,
stuff. We
Candice.
don't always think about that. We think about, oh, there's a lot of good things to try to.
There's been a problem with our connection, so give us just 1 second. Everybody's been on the internet lately, and so it's just some of our connections, they're just overloaded. So I am grateful that.
Okay, so
Sorry about that. So
that's okay.
you're gonna have to start over with your tips again because the internet went out.
That's all right. So the first one is to appreciate yourself. We always think about how we should maybe be grateful for everything else around us, but one of the things I think is important is to recognize that we are doing a lot of good things to help us get through all of the craziness that's going on. So take a moment to be grateful for yourself, and you can do that by saying 3 to 5 affirmations every day in the mirror, telling yourself positive things. That sounds silly, and you would feel silly doing it, but it is one way that you can practice that gratitude. The other thing is doing a gratitude journal. And I actually, if you're good with that, I wanted to share my screen for a second because I have a couple of examples of what maybe what a gratitude journal would look like. So let me.
That would be awesome. Can you also give us an example or a couple examples of those positive affirmations you were just mentioning?
Yes. So like you could stand in front of a mirror and look at yourself and say, I am beautiful. I am smart. I have pretty hair today, or I like how I look today, or I'm grateful that I fed the dog today, or something like that that's positive, and recognize the good things and then tell yourself that you're grateful for those things. Okay, so, and then the second one with the journal, let me just, oh, you know what? Hold on, I gotta get, there we go. Maybe? No. It's not sharing, is it? Oh, there it is. The gratitude list. So you don't have to do this as just one form of doing it. I'm grateful to somebody, whoever that would be. You could say it for yourself even for doing this. Another way to keep a gratitude journal would be to do something like this, where you would make different lists of compliments that I'd like to give myself today, or it could be to somebody else if that's what you feel like you want to do. Current challenges and what I'm learning from them. You can then make a list of people you're grateful for and significant assets of my life at present. So things that are coming to you that you have right now. So that's those are just examples of what you could do for a gratitude journal.
I love that. And I noticed it took one of the boxes said, look at something that you're struggling with. This is my interpretation. Look at something you're struggling with and see how it's actually benefiting you. And essentially that's what I got out of it. And there's this great book called The Obstacle is the Way. And the whole book is exactly that. it teaches you how to look at things and see how everything that's happening to you can benefit you and be for your good. And it's really interesting to think about it that way.
Yes, yes, no, you're right. And that's a huge benefit of gratitude is that it does that. It can rewire our brain so that we do look at things differently. And there's lasting effects for that. They've done studies that can last for months to years after practicing doing some of these gratitude exercises. And you don't have to do them for years to have the lasting effects of rewiring your brain. Some of the other ideas that you could do is do a 5-minute gratitude exercise. So you want to be specific of the things that you're grateful for and just set a timer, write down, take the whole 5 minutes to keep writing about things that you're grateful for. You can repeat things on the list if you need to. You just want to be writing and being grateful for that 5 minutes. If you need to take a minute to reflect for a minute, that's okay, but you just want to take the 5 minutes of spending 5 minutes of gratitude time.
So like free writing,
Uh-huh.
whatever comes to your mind, like air, dirt, dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yep. And then I have 2 more if that's okay. You can do kindness visits. It's hard to visit right now, so you want to reach out to someone, phone call or video FaceTime, or you could even write them a letter telling them how grateful you are. Doing that once a week or once a month, and then keeping a kindness log, spending some time writing at least 3 examples of kindness in a day that you did or that someone else did for you.
I love that. Love those. The other day, I sent out like 20 letters in the mail because I thought it's a perfect time. Like, people will be happy. And I tried to put something I was grateful for each person that I sent a letter to. And it made a huge difference. And it makes a difference on how you think about yourself and others when you try and look for the good in others as well.
Yes. And some of us come at it naturally. Some of us have to work at it. So those are hopefully some things you can do to work at it. I'm one sometimes, but I have to work at it depending on the situation. So
I know for me, when I start my gratitude list in the mornings, some mornings are better than others. And sometimes it literally is like my pajamas. My butt doesn't hurt today because I rode my bike yesterday. Sugar. Like, I kind of have to scrape at first, but I've noticed that if I can get through the first 3 to 5, all of a sudden I like start thinking about lots of other things I'm grateful for.
yes, it kind of can snowball sometimes. And sometimes it really is just even noticing something good that happened. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, I'm grateful that I have water today. Like, even though that could be something you could be grateful for, but there's lots of things that we can recognize as good things in our lives that help with that, retraining our brain to look for the good things and not the negative.
Now, this doesn't mean that we're not looking at reality, right? This isn't like Pollyanna only seeing positive.
Right, exactly. Like you're not trying to just be a total optimist. I feel like if someone's a complete optimist, they don't look at reality all of the time, but you don't want to be a pessimist either. So, and if you have an exercise that you're doing every day, let's say you decide for 2 weeks, you're going to write 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for, that good things or kindness. If that's the only time during the day that you can do that and that you're looking at something good and the rest of the day you're pessimistic, that's fine. Like because it takes some time to change that kind of perception, but it isn't, because life isn't all just roses. Life is hard and there's some hard things, and it's okay to recognize that there's some hard things, but it's okay also to recognize that there's some good things in the hard.
I love it. All right. Well, Candice, if folks want to reach out to you and learn more about your mindfulness class and all of the other things you do, how do you want them to find you?
Just go ahead and you can contact me, message me on my Facebook, Candice Prescott. That works great.
Perfect. So look for Candice Prescott, and that's Candice, Candice, Prescott, spelled just like it sounds. So look her up, message her. She's got some great information and some awesome things coming your way to help you during this time. So contact her. And Candice, we need to talk about if you want to come back next week. So have a wonderful evening, and we will see you guys later.
All right, bye.